The evolution of hearing care delivery solutions at Cleartone over the years has completely transformed not only the way individuals around the world hear, but also their quality of life.
When we started Cleartone back in 1984, we were on a mission to provide the best hearing care delivery solutions in the world. Unfortunately, there were severe limitations in the hearing aid process at that time, the biggest being that hearing aids were custom made at a manufacturer's lab that was either out of state or even out of the country.
Often, a patient had to wait weeks before they got their new hearing aids, only to discover some adjustment had to be made and they had to be shipped back to the manufacturer's lab. When maintenance or repairs had to be done, it was the same thing.
We knew if we could cut out the middleman and start manufacturing our own hearing aids here in Tulsa, we could serve our patients better. So that's exactly what we did. We began engineering and manufacturing our own hearing aids right here in Tulsa. As our business grew, so did our reach. Soon we were seeing patients from out of state and even overseas coming to get their hearing aids from us the very same day instead of waiting weeks as it had been. Our decision to break the mold and manufacture our own hearing aids established us as Oklahoma's largest and most trusted hearing aid provider.
And while manufacturing hearing aids on site solved many problems for our patients, we realized that what we actually wanted for our patients didn't begin and end simply with hearing aids. We desired for each person walking through our doors to have a better quality of life.
So we put our engineering team back to work, spending thousands of hours researching ear anatomy, physiology, and acoustical physics. We did thousands of trial fittings with our patients and listened to what they had to say. We soon realized that an overwhelming majority of complaints people had with hearing aids could be fixed if the hearing aid could just simply fit better.
In fact, when we surveyed over 1,000 hearing care professionals across the United States, over 90% of them said the way a hearing aid fits is the most important factor. With that realization, we committed to innovation and constantly testing and trying new ideas for hearing aid design, technology, and service for our patients. What resulted was a hearing aid unlike anything before, a disruptive hearing aid technology that flipped the hearing aid industry on its head, developed and launched right here in Tulsa.
In the late 2000s, our devices became the preferred and most trusted style worldwide. Today, they make up nearly 80% of all hearing aids sold. We've trained hearing care professionals not just in Canada and Mexico, but around the world in places like Germany, Australia, the Netherlands, Argentina, Poland, South Africa, Austria, Israel, and Italy, just to name a few.
While our international presence grew, we remained deeply committed to our Oklahoma roots. We brought back home best practices and still continue improving our processes and services to better care for the patient who walks through our doors every single day. This lets us serve our patients with the best hearing care consults, evaluations, fitting, and continued care and maintenance in the world right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Our device is smaller and more discreet. By separating the speaker from the sound processor, we make the hearing aid less bulky and more lightweight, enabling it to virtually disappear when worn. At the same time, we improve the sound quality by placing the speaker in the ear canal closer to the eardrum. This also minimizes the risk of feedback or squealing when the device is in the ear.
Our device is more comfortable. We know the ear canal can be extremely sensitive. It only takes a half a gram of pressure to create a pain response. So whatever goes in there needs to be soft. After thousands of hours of research, we developed an ultra-soft tip in a variety of sizes to help us fit each individual ear as best as possible. Our design also prevents the plugged up feeling you can get when wearing a hearing aid called the occlusion effect, where you feel like your head's in a barrel.
Our devices sound better too. Based upon certain principles of physics, namely Boyle's law, we know that the closer we get to the source of a sound, the less volume needed to hear that sound. Following that concept, our hearing aids place the speaker closer to the eardrum than other hearing aids, which reduces the amount of amplification needed and keeps speech sounds crystal clear.
Also, our design helps position the sound processor in the proper position behind the ear, enabling the microphones to form a directional beam towards the front of the wearer, offering wearers a much better opportunity for engaging and interacting with their environments and their loved ones.
Today, our mission remains to provide the best hearing care delivery solutions in the world, but our vision is even greater. We recognize the ever-changing climate of hearing device availability. Patients are no longer bound to brick-and-mortar locations, and device options and technologies continue to expand.
But how the hearing aid fits remains the single most important factor in whether or not a person is successful or not with hearing aids. And nobody does that better than the company who invented it. That's why they call us
The hearing aid experts.